So today we're going to be figuring out which game is better, Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2018 versus Spider-Man 2023 for anyone that needs clarification. Bosh. Now, why am I making this video? Well, it's because I decided to replay through Spider-Man 2018, the remastered version on PC. And as I was replaying it, it quickly dawned on me how good Spider-Man 2018 actually is. Now, I already knew it was great. I've said it on this channel before when I ranked all the Spider-Man games. But replaying it this year, right after playing Spider-Man 2, a lot of the flaws from Spider-Man 2 became so much more clearer for me. I think there's quite a few different reasons as to why that is, specifically the honeymoon period. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a period of time where whatever you were doing, playing a game, watching a movie or whatever, it feels like the greatest thing ever. There was barely anything wrong with it. There's a very good chance that happened to me. I was quite critical of Spider-Man 2. A lot of the critiques from other YouTubers and people online, I didn't think were very fair. And I still believe that. Most of the critiques that got loads of views and all that, I don't think they were very fair. But over time, a lot of the flaws of Spider-Man 2 have become much more clearer to me. Now, I'm not saying you have to agree with me. It's completely personal preference, isn't it? You know, quite a few people probably like that new Gollum game that came out last year. Fair enough to you, but most people don't. It's just one of those things. It's personal preference. But today we're going to compare Spider-Man 2018 to Spider-Man 2 and figure out which game is better. The best place to start is definitely the story. Now, do I think Spider-Man 2's story is bad? No, but it is nowhere near as good as Spider-Man 2018. Replaying Spider-Man 2018, as I said at the start of the video, really made some of the flaws with Spider-Man 2 become a lot more clearer to me. And the story is the best example. I still like Spider-Man 2's story. It is not a bad story, okay? It's just incredibly messy and does not reach the heights of 2018. I will be spoiling bits here. I will be talking about spoilers here, so if you don't want any spoilers, click off the video. The best example of this for me is how the games end and their impacts on players. Spider-Man 2018 ends with a gut-wrenching Aunt May death. She's just like, Peter, I know you've been Spider-Man. Oh, Aunt May, I didn't want you to worry. Peter, I always worried, you dumb fuck, and now I'm dead because of you. Fuck you. That's how that game ends, and it hurt, man. It hurt. It was all over the internet. I had it spoiled for me. I was working at Tesco here in the UK. I was on my break. I had just worked overtime, an overtime shift. I was avoiding spoilers. I just bought the PS4 console with like one of my first paychecks. And it got spoiled for me. I was so, it hurt. But it didn't take away from it for me. I still loved it in 2018. Then you look at Spider-Man 2. And the ending of this game, you could argue is a bit more happy. Like it's a happier version, but that really shouldn't be the case with the story they told. But it is happier. Like, I mean, Harry doesn't die. Harry's just like, I don't know, he's back to the way he was in 2018. He's comatose. He's just like, oh, mate, I'm just going to bed. That's exactly what he did. He's going to be back. Let's be honest, guys. He's going to be back. Who knows what he's going to be back as, but he'll be back. The only person that really got like a sad ending is Norman. Like his kid is finally back, and then for whatever reason it backfired, and now he's back in the same position he was at the start of the game. Norman got the sad ending here, which is kind of, you know, it doesn't really make sense for Spider-Man as a character, but you know, you can't always do the same old stuff where Peter loses everything, you know what I mean? So I get that. But Spider-Man 2 just lacks that gut-wrenching ending. It's not quite as memorable as you would have wanted it to be, especially with how they hyped up Venom and the symbiote suit. But going back to 2018, it even ended things really well with other side characters, MJ and Peter. They finally make up, like, oh, I never wanted to break up with you, even though I did break up with you, and I'm not going to treat you like a child anymore, even though he never treated her as a child. You know, we'll get to those flaws in just a second. But a lot of the side characters had their moments. Miles got bit by Norman's spider. Aunt May did pass away. Norman and Otto, they get their moment at the end of the game where they're finally gonna hash it out. Otto gets all of his frustrations out by nearly killing him. Norman gets to stick with his usual egotistical self and get himself almost killed. You know, it works. Everything gets built together. The only person that didn't really get like a big moment was Mr. Negative. And Mr. Negative is definitely the weakest villain in the game, which is very weird. It's like there was a whole marketing push for Mr. Negative, especially at E3 when they showed the first demo and they revealed it to be Martin Lee, which, you know, for most people didn't know who Mr. Negative was. That was the whole point. They should have kept that very quiet, but it is what it is. But basically, Spider-Man 2018 has a much better story. It's paced better. It has, in my opinion, better set pieces. It's more impactful. It's got better writing. I think the voice acting is actually better in 2018 than it is in 2023. The soundtrack, I went on record saying that I thought Spider-Man 2's soundtrack was way better than 2018. On replay, I think the soundtrack's better in 2018. So basically the story is better. The story is just better. Everything about 2018 story-wise, narrative-wise, acting-wise, you know, it's just better. It's just better. If you disagree with me, that's completely fine. I get it. It's fine. If you prefer the symbiote story, that's cool with me. But I just thought Spider-Man 2, after 3 months later, I think it was a bit of a mess, especially with the Venom stuff. The Venom stuff, that, oh god, okay, it just didn't flow well. Just did not flow well at all. Customization. I think this one's pretty easy to talk about. It's got to be Spider-Man 2. The customization, when I was replaying Spider-Man 2018, and I went to the suit selection, and I saw the limited amount of suits and the limited color options, I was just like, oh god, I kind of want to play Spider-Man 2 at the minute. Because Spider-Man 2 very clearly has the better customization. You can play as both Peter and Miles, banging straight away. They all have their own separate suits, their own color schemes. Even the Adidas suit, or Adidas. I saw a great Venom like TikTok thing, and it's basically Venom being voiceover, and he takes the piss out of Miles because of his suit. Anyway, moving on. But the customization is much better in Spider-Man 2 cosmetic-wise. I think that's very important. Because I think Spider-Man 2018, in terms of gameplay customization and gameplay variety, is significantly better than Spider-Man 2. What do I mean? Well, the gadgets. I'll talk more about the gadgets when I get to the gameplay, but the customization of the gadgets, having to pick which upgrade you're going to choose first, how you're going to change the suit abilities, what suit abilities you want, how it affects gameplay, it's so much more important and integral to Spider-Man 2018, whereas Spider-Man 2, it's just cosmetic. It really is just cosmetic. My point will be more clear once I get to gameplay, but as good as the customization is in Spider-Man 2, it just doesn't feel integral. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it needs to be there. It's great to have it, but let's be honest. How many of those suits did you actually use for longer than 5 minutes? I can't really recall any apart from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, the Miles track suit. It was in the Miles Morales game as well, the white suit, but you could change the colors this time. Those were my two main suits for Spider-Man 2, as well as the advanced suits and their classic suits. I never really used any of the other suits because I don't really like them. So yeah, customization is great in Spider-Man 2, but that really is a personal preference thing. It depends how often you're going to change the suits, how often you could use specific suits. You know, it's great to have it, but it's definitely not like integral. It doesn't need to be there. But that's just me. It's just me. So yes, I'll give it to Spider-Man 2 despite the clear cosmeticness of the customization. It's an odd one. Alright, I'm not going to drag this video out. Let's get to the gameplay. Let's just get to it, okay? Spider-Man 2018 and Spider-Man 2, despite being in the same franchise with the same character, with the same ideas of gameplay, play incredibly differently. And I really do believe, I know some people are not going to like me for saying this, I believe Spider-Man 2018 has much better gameplay. I know. I get it. The swinging's faster in Spider-Man 2. Yes, the swinging is a bit more fun in Spider-Man 2. But everything else? Oh, you're right, Roy. Hang on, my dog's coming on the green screen. Typical dog. You can't see him. That's fine. Oh, there he is. Oh, ooh, hello. There you go. Hello. You want me to shut up, do you? I get it. I'm being very loud. Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I totally understand the swinging being better in Spider-Man 2, but everything else is just so much better in Spider-Man 2018. Let me explain. Right, Spider-Man 2, what are your options for gameplay? Come on, think about it. What do you have options-wise for gameplay? I'll give you a second. Great, yeah. So you have 4 abilities that you could switch out in the main menu for each character. That's it. Those are your options. There's nothing else. There is nothing else. Your gadgets are gone. All the gadgets are gone apart from 4 gadgets that both characters use. That's it. That is it. Let's talk about those 4 gadgets. So you've got this like web thing that pulls all the enemies together so you can use a super move. You've got the impact web that just spreads across people, which takes all the control out of you. That's the control out of the player, which is why the impact web in Spider-Man 2018 works as well as it does. Then you got your basic web shooters, and then there was like another move that I can't even remember. That's it. That's all you have for the variety of the gameplay, okay? Yes, the abilities for Spider-Man for Peter Parker and Miles Morales. The abilities are cool. Yeah, it's great to have the symbiote suit. Yeah, it's wonderful. But I can't help but feel, and I'm going to get close for this, I can't help but feel that there was so many opportunities missed with the symbiote specifically. You get 4 abilities with the symbiote. 4. And they all do the exact same thing. You pick up some guys, you slam them on the ground. Then you can impact web him, but you actually punch him with the symbiote. They don't actually change gameplay. They just look different. What's the difference between the symbiote thing where you pull guys up and you slam them on the ground versus Spider-Man 2018's suspension matrix? What is the difference? The difference is you actually have to manually slam enemies down with the suspension matrix, whereas the symbiote just does it for you. Where's the fun in that? I get it looks cool. It looks great, it makes you feel powerful, but where's the fun in it? Then you've got Spider-Man 2018, and you've got like 10 different gadgets that all feel very Spidey-like apart from like 2 or 3 of them, which is like the suspension matrix and the concussion blast, so 2. Those are the 2 gadgets that don't feel like Spider-Man, and they removed pretty much all of them. Why did they do that? I don't understand it. Why do that? It makes no sense. That is where the fun came from Spider-Man's combat system. Now, I want to make it clear before I go on. I'm not saying Spider-Man 2 is not a fun game. It absolutely is. It absolutely is a fun game. It's a blast. You feel like a Spider-Man that has a symbiote suit, and you feel like Miles Morales that has the chain lightning and all that. It's great. Until you start thinking about it and what you had in Spider-Man 2018. Let's go on, bear with me. The fun of Spider-Man 2018's combat was the variety of gadgets you had. It wasn't the punching. Let's be honest, there's no combos in here really. You punch, you charge punch, you jump in the air, you punch, and then you hold triangle or Y or whatever it is on PC, keyboard and mouse, and you slam enemies into the ground. That's it. The fun came from the gadgets, your basic web shooters, your impact webs, your trip mines. They removed the trip mine. The stealth is so bad in Spider-Man 2. When I was using stealth in Spider-Man 2018, I was like, what the fuck? What happened? Why did they change this? Because the trip mine feels cool. The web bomb is so cool. The web bomb is just the impact webs from Spider-Man 2, except you manually control it. You pick a target and you get a decent area of effect attack, but the impact web does it, not the impact web, whatever it's called in Spider-Man 2, you press a button and it just webs up a bunch of guys completely automatically. You have no control over it. Why? Why do that? Just let us keep the web bomb. Just let us keep the web bomb. Why? Why don't you want to do this? Why? If the game's too easy, make it harder. Make us use the gadgets, which is what Spider-Man 2018 does. Your ability to mess around with these different gadgets to attack specific enemies at a specific time, combine the trip mines, the web bombs, the suspension matrix, the concussion blasts, along with the melee combat itself, dodging, attacking, webbing, finishing so you can get your gadgets, so you can keep going and going and going and going. That was the fun. That was the challenge. Spider-Man 2 is so much easier than 2018. 2018 is incredibly easy, don't get me wrong. But Spider-Man 2 is way easier. Way easier. And it just takes away from the experience overall. I haven't even gotten into the fact that Spider-Man 2018 overall has more content, without a doubt. Yeah, a lot of it is just copy and paste. Go here, collect a backpack. Go here, take a picture of this building. I get that. But 2023 Spider-Man 2, it does not have enough content. I was very lenient on it when it first came out because I was having a blast with it. But going back to it, trying to replay it, it's very clear that it's lacking a lot of content that 2018 does, including random crimes. Random crimes is better in Spider-Man 2018. The car chases are better in Spider-Man 2018. When people were complaining about the car chases in 2018, they weren't saying remove the interactivity around it, don't make it a cutscene. They weren't saying that, but that's what they did for Spider-Man 2. And it's just like, make it more engaging. Don't have a cutscene, don't have a quick time event for it. Let us web up the tires, for example, or choose to manually take a door off or something to web them out while I'm swinging or something. But they didn't do that, which was very annoying. But yeah, the side missions are better in Spider-Man 2, but there aren't as many of them, and in 2018, there's still quite a few side missions. They aren't the worst in the world, and there's some genuinely interesting ones, like being a secret detective, going through a building, taking pictures of plans before they even do the mission itself. I just think it was cool. I just had such a good time on 2018, and it really reminded me how much I loved that game, because over the years I was souring on it. I was like, is it really that good? But then replaying it Just like, yeah, it is that good, man. It is that good. But yeah, so which game is better? I think I've made it very clear. I think Spider-Man 2018 overall, story and gameplay wise, is the more enjoyable, engaging, and fun experience over Spider-Man 2. That's just my opinion. It's not set in stone. I'm not a god, okay? Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? That'd be very important. Like the video if you did enjoy. I'd really appreciate that. Stick with the Sticky Man by subscribing. Take a breath. And just, yeah, thank you for watching. I just can't say that anymore. I'm sure there'll be some arguments in the comments about this, but hey man, just be kind to each other. Have a good session. It's not Reddit. Just have a good laugh with each other and take the piss. And yeah, just sleep well, enjoy your day, and yeah, just cheerio. Thank you for watching. Stick with the Sticky Man.